It's time for spelling analysis. Are you ready? I am. All right, the first word is almost. It is almost time for lunch. Almost. Go ahead and say almost. How many syllables? 2. We will say to spell all-most. What will we say to spell? All-most. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is all. Aw, use an a-ah, ul. The second syllable is most. M-o-st. Go ahead and write all-most. Sound it out as you write it. Excellent. Now help me to write it. The first syllable is all. Ah, ul. The second syllable is most. M-o-st. And how will we mark it? What sound of a-ah do you hear? That's right. It's the third sound, which is called the broad sound. So we'll put 2 dots over it. And why did it say it's broad sound? You're right. It's before an L. And A will often say, and other vowels will often say their broad sounds before an L. And then we'll put a line over the O. And why did the O say it's long sound? I and O may say I and O before 2 consonants. And there it is. Let's read it. A-ul-m-o-st. Almost. Also, when you hear all at the beginning of a word acting as a prefix, it's always spelled with only 1 L. All right, the next word is evening. This evening, it will be beautiful outside. Evening. Go ahead and say evening. How many syllables? 3. We will say to spell e-ven-ing. What will we say to spell? E-ven-ing. The first syllable is E. E. The second syllable is ven. V-e-n. The third syllable is ing. I-ng. Go ahead and write E-ven-ing. Sounding it out as you write it. Excellent. E-ven-ing. All right, help me to write it. The first syllable is E. E. The second syllable is ven. V-e-n. The third syllable is ing. I-ng. And how will we mark it? We'll put a line over the E and we'll underline the ng. Let's read it. E-v-e-n-i-ng. Evening. All right, let's look at this. What would it say if I had this word? Eve. And the eve actually can be like the Christmas Eve is the night before. So here's a root that's related to the word evening, which is that evening, that later time of day. The next one is lose. I hope I don't lose my mittens. Lose. Go ahead and say lose. And let's sound it out. U. This is the a-o-u. Z, s, z. Silent final E. Go ahead and write lose. Sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. U-z. Silent final E. How will we mark it? Well, a-o-u said it's broad sound. And we have a s-z. It's saying its second sound. Now, why do we have a silent final E in lose? It might be there, you're right, because of the S. Because we want to make sure that when a word ends in S, it's there for the verb to look like it's needed for the grammar parts, or for the noun to look plural. So that might be the reason, or maybe it's an unseen reason. Let's read it. L-u-z, lose. The next word is tears. There were tears in his eyes. Tears. Go ahead and say tears. And let's sound it out. T-E, use an E at A, z. Tears. Go ahead and write tears, sounding it out as you write it. Good, and help me to write it. T-E, z. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the E, and what sound of z did we hear? That's right, it's the second. Tears. Now, I have a question. What happens if we take that off? We have 1 tear, but with the S, we have many tears. To make a noun plural, just add S unless the word hisses or changes. This word doesn't hiss and it doesn't change, so we just added S. The next word is body. The dog has a very round body. Go ahead and say body. How many syllables in body? 2. We will say to spell bod-e. What will we say to spell? Bod-e. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is bod. B-a-d. The second syllable is e. Use a y, e, I, e. Go ahead and write bod-e. Excellent. And help me to write it. The first syllable is bod. B-a-d. The second syllable is e. E. How will we mark it? What sound of y, e, I, e did you hear? The fourth. That's right. And it said its long e sound at the end of a multi-syllable word. B-a-d-e. Body. The next word is smell. Ew. What is that smell? Smell. Go ahead and say smell. Let's sound it out. S-m-e-l-l. Go ahead and write smell. And help me to write it. S-m-e-l-l. Notice we often double F-L or S after a single vowel, and there it is. Let's read it. S-m-e-l-l. Smell. The next word is vanilla. Vanilla ice cream is my favorite. Vanilla. Go ahead and say vanilla. How many syllables in vanilla? 3. We will say to spell van-il-law. What will we say to spell? Van-il-law. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is van. V-a-n. The second syllable is il. I-ul. The third syllable is law. Ul-aw. Use an a-a-aw. Go ahead and write van-il-aw. Oh, sorry. Van-il-law. Van-il-law. There you go. Van-il-law. And help me to write it. The first syllable is van. V-a-n. The second syllable is il. I-ul. The third syllable is law. Ul-aw. How will we mark it? What sound of a-a-aw did you hear? The broad. That's right. Let's read it. V-a-n-i-ul-ul-aw. Vanilla. Excellent. The last word is tornado. There was a tornado with that storm. Tornado. Go ahead and say tornado. How many syllables in tornado? 3. We will say to spell tornado. What will we say to spell? Tornado. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is tor, t, or. The second syllable is nay, n-a. The third syllable is do, d-o. Go ahead and write tornado. It's kind of a fun word, isn't it? Tornado. It's exactly like it sounds. Help me to write it. The first syllable is tor, t, or. The second syllable is nay, n-a. The third syllable is do, d-o. And how will we mark tornado? We'll underline the or, put a line over the A and a line over the O, because A and O said their long sounds. And why did they do that? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. Let's read it. T, or, n-a-d-o, tornado. Excellent. Great work today.
Combining the science of reading with the joy of learning. Learn more at foundations.logicoфenglish.com.